Hi, this is Quinn, and welcome back to QuinTech. So in this video, this is part 4 of my Atari 8-bit series, and thank you again for coming along on my journey. In this video, I'm going to discuss some technical difficulties I've been having, which happens when you're working with almost 40-year-old equipment. Sometimes things don't work right. And then after that, I'm going to play 7 more games. This is from disc 3 of the floppy disks that my friend Adam gave me back in April of 1999. And I left Albuquerque in November of 1999, but we're still friends, and we've kind of reconnected due to these videos. I mean, we always kind of stayed in touch. We didn't talk that often, but we've been talking a lot more recently, and it's thanks to these videos that we're making. I made my Amiga video, and then my first Amiga video, and then he made an Amiga video, and then we started this video challenge. So this is disc 3 of the discs that Adam gave me, and included are Boulder Dash 1, 2, and 3. And after playing it again, now I understand why it's called Boulder Dash, because you only have a certain amount of time to finish each stage, so you gotta dash through that stage, or else you're gonna run out of time and not make it to the exit. So you got those 3 games, Boulder Dash 1, 2, and 3, and then you also have Bruce Lee, based on, obviously, the real-life person, Shoplifter, which is a pretty fun game, Megamania, which I'm pretty sure I played that back in the day. I kind of forgot about it, but after seeing it, I remembered it. And then you have Robotron 2084, so we get to jump ahead 64 years into the future, because it's now 2020, and that's Robotron 2084, which was actually released in 1982 in the arcade, and 1983 on the Atari 8-bit. So maybe they were thinking, I don't know, 100 years in the future, but it was 102 years, according to the release date of the arcade version. So, without further ado, let's move along with this latest video, and thank you so much again for coming along on my journey. I know, like I said in my last video, this is YouTube, so you could be watching anything right now. So, the fact that you're watching this right now, that means a lot to me. It really does. And thank you so much. So, well, let's just get right into it. Let's play some games on the Atari 8-bit. Alright. Thanks for coming along. Take care. So one of the problems with working with almost 40-year-old technology is the fact that some things stop working. For example, this disk drive, D1. It was working great, my first video. And then when I tried to hook it up for my second video, it didn't want to work. So, just a few minutes ago, earlier tonight, I hooked it back up so I could show how it was malfunctioning. And it was actually working for a minute. And then it went back to the state it was in. So, let me show you what's going on with this. You turn it on. Makes that nasty noise, and then this continues to happen. It just keeps, the drive head keeps trying to read in little intervals every 5 seconds or however long that is. So yeah, that's kind of annoying. The other problem is my Wyco command control, my favorite controller. is sort of not working right. If you look at it straight on, I guess it's kind of hard to see. I don't think it's sitting quite, it's not centered, that's for sure. And it's having trouble going to the left. Or no, or is it to the right? Yeah. It'll go left, and then it pulls too far back to the right, but then pushing right doesn't seem to work properly. I mean, all the buttons work, up, down, and left work, but right is not working properly. So, I've had to bust out with the El Cheapo, because that other Wico controller, the kind of like they also made the one for Epic's games. It's the same controller basically, but this one has more of a rubbery grip. But I just not comfortable in my hand. This thing, it just, I don't know. I'm not very good with this controller. So you have the button on the side there that you use your index finger to press. It's got a little grip here. So this is how you're meant to hold it. And this sounds really nice. Nice switches in there. Micro switches. But if I had the skills to use this would probably be a really good controller, but it's just not comfortable in my hand. So, I'm going to use El Cheapo, the Point Master, which only has the button on the top, so that's going to be a little annoying. I prefer to use my thumb here, so, hey, it is what it is. So, fortunately, D2 still works. For now. So this one's still working normally. Thank goodness. So last time I was playing this, I think I had the volume turned up a little bit too loud on the TV. So I turned it down this time so you can hear my commentary. And this is another one of my favorite games from the 80s, Boulder Dash. It's like a sort of a puzzle game where you dig boulders and gems out of the ground and have to be able to traverse around a maze and get out without blocking yourself in behind you or getting smashed by your own boulder that you dropped. So it's a fun game. I like it. So it's pretty simple. I don't think you even use the fire button, so this Point Master shouldn't be a problem for this game. So you can run this little dude around, right? But if you go up to a boulder and then step out of the way, it'll drop down. Now, if there was a boulder above me, if there were a boulder above me and then I went down, then that boulder would follow me and smash me. Which you'll probably see at some point. But the point is to collect these diamonds while still able to get out of the exit without blocking your path with these boulders. So it starts out kind of simple and it gets more and more difficult as it goes. So you you go this way, you get the diamond. Okay, this diamond is kind of hidden. So we want these rocks to fall out of the way so we can get to the diamond. Well, I can get around here, but in later levels, you're really going to have to plan that out so that you don't block yourself. See, and that's the other thing. If you go beside a boulder, and clear out the side of it, then those will also fall down. So like I say, this first level is pretty simple. You want to make sure you don't have that boulder drop on your head, so you avoid that. Oh, and there's a time limit. Shoot. I guess I was talking too much. Darn it. So now let's try it for real. Ooh, and I did what I said not to do in my practice run. Great. And it's weird, on this monitor, it looks more brownish, like dirt. But when I'm looking on the screen on the phone, it looks green. So that's interesting. So I guess just for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to do this first maze, and then I'll switch to something else. Oh, damn it, I did it again. What am... Yeehaw. Game over. Well, I guess I didn't finish the first maze, because I wasn't paying attention. So that's how this game works. I mean, that's the first level, and I totally hosed it. And it's a fun game, though. This might still be a little bit loud with the music. When we turn it down, tad. That's probably better. So what else is on this disc? Well, you saw it was Boulder Dash 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to have all kinds of boulder dashes, all kinds of boulder dashing. So I'm assuming each one gets a little bit more difficult as you move on. L yields unlimited lives. Let's try that. It's a cracked. I didn't do it soon enough. I missed my chance. From Kilroy. Kilroy was here. And the Celestial Knight. Alright. Oh, yeah, Boulder Dash 2. And the colors are a little bit different on this one. kill you. So you gotta avoid those. Darn it. Those are like little fireflies or something. So you gotta like be speedy on some of these. Oh, and you want... I guess you want these fireflies to have a place to go. So they need to have... a place to get lost. So they don't come back and haunt you right away. So you can use a strategy where you... Yay, that worked out well. Darn it. What am I doing? It's retarded. I shouldn't even be allowed to have another life now because I hosed that one so bad. Huh? Maybe that unlimited lives thing did work. Because it seems like I'm having a lot more chances here. I think I just need to run. So it does seem like I must have actually activated that unlimited lives, so... Yeah, I'm just showing you how this game works. I'm not really trying to play it forever. So, what's next? Oh, and I forgot to mention, this is disc 3, side 1 of the discs that Adam sent me. And I'm glad he gave me these. This was like definitely in my top 10, at least the original. And now that I see part 2, I remember, I'm sure I played all of these back in the 80s. So, this is Boulder Dash 3. And I probably played this as well. This seems familiar. Darn it. I wasn't supposed to do that. Shoot. Now I'm stuck. So you gotta kill yourself. That's the only way, or else you have to reset the gate. shoot. They don't give you very much time, do they? So each game adds a little bit more challenge. I don't like that out of time so quick, though. It's a little annoying. Oh, so close. I think I can make this one. I just gotta really book. Well, I'm gonna try again. I think I can beat at least this first level of one of these. For an El Cheapo, this actually is controlling fairly decent. Darn it, that might have just cost me the game. Not all of them? Then you gotta find the exit. Oh, then you gotta find the exit. Erg. So close. And yet so far. Okay, well that's disc one. Like I say, I'm just doing a trial run on this stuff, so I'm not trying to do an in-depth playthrough or anything. So let's see what's on side 2 of this disc. So this is side 2 of disc 3 of the disc my friend Adam gave me back in 1999, in April of 99. And I moved away from Albuquerque, which is where he lives, Albuquerque, New Mexico, in November of 1999, and moved here to Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's where I reign from currently. And so this has Bruce Lee, Shoplifter, Megamania, and Robotron 2084 it's actually called, but I guess maybe you can only put so many letters in the title, I'm assuming. So, first on our docket, Bruce Lee. By Datasoft. takes a minute to load. This is what we had to deal with back in the 80s. It took a minute for stuff to load. So option selects number of players, select. Oh, so you can play against the second player. That's kind of cool. I forgot about that. And then start to begin the game. So option 1 player, 2 player. Play against computer or opponent. And start to begin. And no offense, I know it's not a politically correct thing to say, nowadays, but I always thought this character looked kind of retarded, especially his long kick. Damn you. This guy is kicking my butt. Hit that guy 3 times. That's kind of, and you gotta collect these little lamps. Little jerk. And then you gotta jump up and get this lattice, and you can climb up. And push up to jump. Let him, darn. Oh yeah, you can kind of, oh well, you can duck. Okay, it's been a while since I played this. Kind of cool. I guess falling on hurts him. Oh, that worked out well. I guess falling on him hurts him worse than punching him. And he gets scared when you fall on his head. Yeah, that's when he looks the most retarded, when he's falling. Really? Oh, bastard. Little punk. And it changes. Last time I had to go through the middle door, and now this one, I have to go through the top door. What? How did he get... Oh. What? That was weird. It's kind of retarded, especially when you see his back. And look, he has yellow skin, not very politically correct. Darn it. Oh, I gotta go down to the bottom. This is annoying. Oh, punk. Wait, how do I get out of here? I might be stuck. Arrgh. Annoying. How do I get out of this room? How do I get out of this room? Yeah, I remember being stuck here as a kid and not knowing what to do. There must be some way out of here. Oh, do something to this bowl, maybe? Huh, how do you get out of here? It's annoying. Well, there's Bruce Lee. Yeehaw. Shoplifter. Okay, this game has an interesting history. This is one of the very few games, the only one I'm really aware of, that first came out on home computer, on PC, and then was later ported to arcade. So I think I played the arcade version of this game before I ever played this version, so I might have been a little disappointed because it was kind of different. The arcade version was a little bit more refined, but it's still a fun game. And basically you're a choplifter, you're a chopper pilot, and your troops are stuck behind enemy lines, and you have to run out, you have to blow up the door of the POW camp they're trapped in, and then they all run out, and you have to fend off opponent fire at the same time as saving these POWs. So you gotta save the POW has to enter your chopper, and then you have to fly it back to base to save them without getting blown up. And you can pick up a few POWs, but you can't pick up all of them. So you have to make at least like 2 or 3 choplift runs before you get everybody out. So I think you have to save a certain number of POWs, maybe 10. I can't remember the exact number, but something like that. So you gotta fly this chopper, shoot down the enemy. When you're on the ground, they kind of ignore you, but as soon as you're in the air, they like come for you, come for your butt. And you either have to set it back down on the ground so they don't see you, or you gotta fire and take them out. And again, these games take a little while to load because it's loading off floppy disk. Ooh, and Broderbund, they made a lot of good games back in the day. They did Load Runner, one of my favorite games. So yeah, look at this. The chopper is just kind of a white back. Everybody's like sort of a white background. And in the arcade version, it was a little bit more cartoony and defined, but it played pretty much the same. But I remember really loving this game as a kid. I think I might even had this as a cartridge. I know one cartridge I definitely had was Moon Patrol, which I loved that game. That game was awesome. But it was very challenging, especially in the higher levels. You gotta like drive this little buggy across the screen to the right, and then there'll be all these obstacles in your way. So you hear that, and you have a fire button. You can shoot above you. You can shoot things above you, and these obstacles you got to pay attention because you have to jump over them. It could be either like a log in the road or like a big crater in the ground, and you have to jump over these things, or your little buggy blows up and you lose a life. Or if the opposing attacker hits you with its fire, that also kills you. Now this game also, when you land, sometimes you can land on top of one of the POWs and kill him. So you got to be real careful what you do. So I want to show you this. And I guess I'll probably play Moon Patrol on some other video, but not this one because I'm playing these games. Okay, so, oh, that's what. Oh, and the I forgot the tank can also blow up the POWs. So you gotta try to, as soon as you land, they like run towards you, and the tank can't hit you unless you're on the ground. Ah, like that. And then he just killed 4 of my POWs, which is annoying. Then you gotta go back to, you pick up the POWs, go back to your base, drop them off. And if you're pressing straight left, oh, and these will come after you sometimes. Oh, this little punk. Oh, and these little these little Quonset huts or whatever they are. Sometimes you can get, oh, almost got me. I'm gonna bring, oh, you little punk. Why, I oughta bang zoom to the moon. Ah! What? You kamikaze me, but you got to fly away? That's annoying. So that's how that game works. Again, I'm not doing a comprehensive gameplay video. I'm just showing off what I have on these discs. So what's next? Megamania. Activision. And if you don't know, Activision started out in the Atari 2600, or aka BCS era. Atari wanted to keep all the software in-house so they could make all the money off all the cartridges of all the games. But they didn't want to give the programmers any credit for actually making the game. They wouldn't allow any of the programmers to put their name attached to any of the titles. So, a few of the programmers from Atari jumped ship and created their own company called Activision, where they made their own games, and they didn't pay any royalties to Atari, from what I understand, because they didn't get Atari to produce their cartridges. They had the cartridges produced by a third party that had nothing to do with Atari. So they got to make all the money off of their games, and one of their first and best known games, of course, is Pitfall, which I'm sure anybody who's a retro gamer would remember. And the authors of the software got to say who produced it. They could put their name to it and say, I made this. Like right here, conceived and designed by Steve Cartwright, adapted by Glenn Anderson, copyright 1982-1983, Activision. So as you can see, this little ship almost looks like a Star Trek ship. It's got the little nacelles and the big saucer front part, but it plays kind of like a Space Invaders clone, only a little different. As you can see, as the character moves back and forth, his fire moves with his movement. So that's kind of cool. You can kind of direct your fire. You can direct your fire at where you want it to hit. So I'll try this out for a minute. Let's see how this goes. Not very good, apparently. Of course, I'm having to use my thumb to fire on top of this joystick. Are those little burgers or are those saucers? They look like Burger Time burgers. If anybody remembers Burger Time, that was a fun game. You have to walk around these little platforms and drop down the burger. You're a little chef. You gotta drop these pieces of the burger. You got the top bun, you got the lettuce, you got the tomato, you got the actual burger itself, and then you got the bottom bun, and you gotta like run up and down this little platform to drop all the pieces, and these little opponents are chasing you, so you have to avoid them. I remember that game in the arcade. It was a fun game, and I'm pretty sure there was an Atari 8-bit version of that. Ouch. I guess you're gonna have to come back. Oh, and I'm about to run out of energy. I guess that's kind of like a time limit. Arrgh. Almost had it. Almost had it. Oh, and I have one guy left. Twerp. How much time are you going to waste for me? There we go. Now I get the points. And this one is like oh, this one's dropping fire at me. This is a little bit more challenging. Wave 1, they didn't shoot back, but wave 2 they sure do. We gotta, oh, here it comes. They look like little bugs. Little pink cockroaches or something. And they look blue on my, on the actual television, they look purple. But when I'm looking on the camera display, they look blue, which is weird. And these look more white, but they look very blue when I'm looking at my phone screen. So, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, I don't think it's gonna go well for me. I can't hit anything. Arrgh. Well, I made 6,160 points. Beat that, Adam. I'm sure you will. You said you were keeping track in my last video. Okay, what else is on here? Robotron 2084. So, 64 years from now, this is what life will be like. Robotron 2084. It is now 2020. In 2084, this is what life will look like. Not really, but okay. Option to change difficulty. Ooh, we can have level 0. That must be novice. Select to change number of players. Start to begin. A 1-player game. Well, let's do that. Oh yeah, the arcade classic. Holy moly. Wait, who am I? Wait, why am I just firing up? Can I only fire up? Oh, so I just gotta kill these dudes. He got me with this. Gotta kill the blonde dudes. I forgot. I started in the center. Okay, now I understand what to do. Alright, I'm gonna try again. And that's difficulty level 0, so that must be novice. Because it started with 1. I love those sound effects though, isn't that cool? What is wrong with me? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Kill the blonde dudes. I thought I was at the bottom. I forgot where I keep forgetting I start in the center. Darn it. try. Oh, I have another life. I expect to have another life. Ooh, they get... I'm going to play one more round. This is kind of fun. Darn it. Ah. 64 years from now, this is what life is going to look like. How to navigate amongst all, arg. Oh, the fat guys you can't touch, only the skinny guys. Okay, well that's Robotron. That was Robotron 2084 on the Atari 8-bit. I hope you enjoyed it. Alright, well thanks for joining me, and thanks for coming on the journey, and I hope you're having a good time, because I sure am. And this game came out in 1982 in the arcade and 1983 on the home computer on the Atari. And it's still fun to this day. I wasn't very good at it because, like I say, this is not a comprehensive game guide. This is just an overview. So I hope you enjoyed watching it.